So this is from Rod Beard, who is a Pistons beat writer. John Beeline has been working with Cade Cunningham on getting a higher release in his three-point shot. And you can look at it a bit here. It certainly could be higher. I mean, you look at it, it looks like it's at like parallel with his face, basically the release. And before you freak out or anything, John Beeline, while he did have that 1 year with the Cavs that wasn't so good, he's been a coach for like 40 years, and he's thought of as kind of a shooting guru. I mean, he had his teams chucking threes like way before anybody else really thought about it like that. So I wouldn't freak out. But I think it's interesting nonetheless. Now, if we go to Z highlights and look at Cade's 7 threes in Summer League, and this is the first one. Catch and shoot, steps into it. You do hear about how you don't want to like cut off your vision when you're shooting the ball. But of course, you know, Cade, he did shoot like 40% from 3 in college, so it's not a major rework, but it's something. We'll take a look one more time. I mean, he steps into it with confidence. There's no hesitation at all, and that's always a good sign as a shooter. LeBron told Dwight he can take a single 3 if he records 2 blocks in games. Wasn't it 2 blocks per half? I believe that's what it was. Is this a good thing or a bad thing to tell Dwight Howard this? Like, I know it's a joke, but I'm also a little concerned that a guy in Dwight, who in his career has been a bit like, give me more minutes, give me more shot attempts, he might actually believe this a little bit. Maybe like 3 times a season. Zion, we weren't in the playoffs. Man, we can be there. It's not happening again. Well, Devin Booker said that, and then he made the NBA Finals. So you know what? Let's see if this goes 2 for 2. I mean, you got Jamal Murray, Kawhi, and Klay Thompson all dealing with injury stuff. You've got the potential of Porzingis getting hurt with the Mavs. Like, there's definitely potential for somebody in the West to shake things up a little bit, and that team definitely could be the Pelicans. Now, at the same time, talking about health, Zion, who was revealed that he just had, like, foot surgery or something, so who the hell knows? Luka versus Boban one-on-one. Let's check this out. Boban's advanced stats are actually insane. Like, his per 36, he averages like 30 and 15 or something wild like that. The advanced stats would all suggest that Boban, if he played like 30 minutes a game, would be the best player of all time. But of course, you know, he can't do that because of whatever. Anyway, shout out to Luka. 76ers assets as Sam Hinkie was forced to step down. Joel Embiid, 2016 pick. I'm not going to read all this. Miami 2016, OKC 2016, Kings future first. One of these was traded to the Celtics in the Fultz-Tatum thing. Yeah, I mean, when you think about Sam Hinkie in the process, and it's like, did he do a good job because he acquired assets? Did he do a not as good job because you can build a good team without going to the bottom of the league for like 3 years or whatever it was? I don't know. But I think we'd all agree that from the time he was fired until now, the Sixers have not done the best job with maximizing all those assets. Granted, if the Markelle Fultz thing just doesn't happen and he was the player that everybody thought he was going to be, the whole thing is probably different. KD and Westbrook turned the ball over 6 times, final 3 minutes, Game 6, West Finals. Well, we got a double team on Durant. So the Warriors are leaving Dion wide open, daring KD to make that pass, daring Dion to beat him. Only 3 seconds left, kind of tough for all that to happen. As far as how we got into this situation, it was probably a bad play by Scott Brooks, because it was ISO kind of all the time. Anyway, they overwhelmed KD. We got an Ibaka cut, but they were just out of sync. We now have Iguodala totally wide open. We've got KD picking up the ball. I think that's Harrison Barnes. And Steph Curry, I mean, this is just way too much space. I will admit, I watched this beforehand. Okay. But Iguodala was super wide open under the basket. That was kind of wild. Those Warriors were scary in transition, man. All right, this is the next one. So it was a KD ISO. There's 5 seconds left. We've got Iguodala leaning in. We've got Draymond here. They're totally ignoring basically this entire side of the floor for OKC. And then KD's got to take that, and luckily they got Robertson. Now I got OKC in transition. Ibaka It seems like he could have an opportunity for a shot at the rim. Westbrook. What happened here? We just kind of lost it. Draymond. Oh, that's a foul. And now to pause this, I think there was like some Clay Steph screen action or handoff action or something. The whole thing isn't there, but that's just kind of what I get looking at how this is, with this kid with waiters running to Clay. Anyway, Clay's open for a little bit, and luckily actually missed it. And then maybe it was another foul, I don't know, but they just lose it out of nowhere. Probably the worst possible thing. We've got Steph on what looks like Ibaka. So was there a switch? I would have to imagine that's what it was. Beats him a few times. I remember this shot. And that was kind of the dagger. That was a wild series, man. If KD never would have went to Golden State, that would have been a rivalry for, the next 4 years probably. Kevin Porter Jr.'s goal is to average 10 assists this year. That is good. I don't think he should get too caught up in the actual number, but it's nice that he's thinking in that way. Oh, we got a highlight from 2 hours ago, the first Summer League game featuring no significant player besides Anthony Davis. THT throws it down. All right, let's see this. My God, it's basketball in 2021. Patty Mills is on him. He's already got a head of steam to the rim. It's beautiful. Love it. I keep asking this. Who's the starting guard of the Lakers next to Westbrook? I honestly don't know. There's a lot of candidates. Some are better shooters. Ariza's your middle ground 3-and-D guy. THT is not much of a shooter, but he's got the best off the dribble game. Well, maybe Kendrick Nunn has a little bit there too, but I don't know. There's a squid game with all 450 NBA players. Who would win? All right, this is the end of the video. I'm going to give my take on Squid Game. I think the parts of it that were good were all-time amazing. Holy crap, what am I actually watching right now? But the first 2 episodes, besides the ending of episode 1, kind of slow. Episode 2 is just bad altogether. Ruins all the momentum at the end of episode 1. And there were also little side stories that I don't think really did much for the show. So overall, it's probably a 7 out of 10. But the parts that were good, man, they were so damn good. It's this is some of the best stuff I've ever seen. As far as answering this, I don't know, TJ McConnell or something. Rondo, I think Rondo's a good pick. It'd probably be somebody who's 6'1", kind of ruthless, kind of quiet. It's not going to be LeBron. LeBron's just he's just LeBron. He's not going to win Squid Game. Okay, that wasn't actually the ending. Rudy Gay, Donovan Mitchell used him. He's on the Jazz now. When he played with the Raptors, yeah, Rudy Gay had this time period on 2K where he was amazing. It was him, J.R. Smith, Jamal Crawford, Monte Ellis. 2K didn't know how to balance those type of guys, so they were basically Kobe. Chet Holmgren, NBA comparison is Kevin Durant. All right, look, I get it with Holmgren. He's got guard skills. He's tall. He's thin. All that stuff. I think it's just irresponsible to compare anyone to Kevin Durant. Because it's you're telling me that Chet Holmgren is going to be a candidate for being the best player in the NBA. What is Kevin Durant right now? Top 15 player all time with room to get higher on the list? I'm not a draft guy. Maybe he does deserve that.